Yeah, great. We're on air. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Good Business Journal, sharing inspiring stories about social entrepreneurs from around the globe. My name is Julian Spector, and I'm very proud to welcome on our first online broadcast Sreerupa Chowdhury from India. Welcome. Hello, Sreerupa.
Hi. I'm very honored to be part of this series.
Great. Sreerupa is a co-founder of Law Farm, a company that offers legal services for Indian citizens. And this is a social enterprise, of course, and it serves approximately hundreds of people in India, from around the country. And it how it looks now after, of course, it's the first broadcast. That's why my phone is ringing. Sorry for that. Uh, um, and it's approximately 2 year startup, right?
Yes, that's right.
And now let's think about how it all had started. Let's think about the first days of your enterprise. What was it then? What was the vision, the goals, and maybe fears?
So when we started Law Farm back in 2013, all we wanted to do is help the common man get answers to his legal queries. We saw that there are a lot of people in our friends and family circles who don't have access to legal information, and just by virtue of the fact that I was a law student back then, a lot of them would come and ask me about uh, things that they would want to know regarding the law. And we realized that if they didn't know us, they would not have found anyone to go to. And lawyers usually charge a lot, even for a basic legal question. If you want to get an appointment with a lawyer, that would make you a little it would pinch your pocket. So we realized that there is a dearth of good quality information, and we realized the power of the internet. So what we wanted to do is to build a very veritable database of legal information online. So we started with a question and answer forum, and we started to publicize it, and we started getting a lot of questions on that forum. And what we did, we were law students back then, so we got a lot of our friends to come and answer those questions. That's how it started. So when we started, our overall vision was to help the common man with his legal problems and his legal queries. Soon after that, we realized that some of them need lawyers, because when they get that preliminary information, they might need more. They might need expert legal advice, or they might need to hire a lawyer. So then we started to build a network of lawyers. We started to get in touch with good lawyers and started to ask them to contribute as well. And whenever we had a person asking us for a lawyer, we got them in touch with these lawyers that we knew were good. So we were acting like a good referral system of sorts, and we were doing all of this pro bono. So this was how we started with Law Farm.
Okay, great. Um, uh, what were the main changes to the model since the beginning?
So initially we were doing this completely pro bono, but soon we realized that to sustain ourselves, we need to have some sort of revenue. So then what we did is we made part of the website focus on some paid services. So what we did is we also focused on giving people very good quality expert legal advice for a small price, much smaller than what they would have to pay in the marketplace, but something that would help us sustain ourselves. So that's what we started to do. Or when we got them in touch with the lawyer, and the lawyer would charge fees for an appointment, we would take a small percentage of that to sustain ourselves. So these are the kind of changes that we brought about in order to sustain the pro bono consulting work that we were primarily focusing on. This is something we started last year in August. Thereafter, we just started this project with I Paid a Bribe. So some of you might have heard of this. It works in multiple countries. It's a portal for people to come and report on bribes. So what we've done is we've set up their legal hotline. So now and this is a funded project. So we've got funds from the World Justice Project. So, there are various mechanisms by which we are fundraising. Part of it is through offering paid services. I do a lot of legal consulting for startups. So all of that revenue can be pumped into the pro bono consulting bit. We are also doing other projects such as the one with IP to Bribe, which are self-funded. So that project is completely an independent project under law firm.
All right, I see. So the model works like this. You have some paid services, you have some funding, and this gives you ability to do a pro bono and free services, right?
Right, absolutely.
So I think that's why you call yourself, and actually that's why you are social business, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. I guess it was not that easy to realize these ideas into practice, right?
Yeah, it was not.
Could you please tell me what were those driving forces? What were those factors that helped you actually to put these dreams into reality?
I think one of the biggest reasons for me was having an amazing co-founder. My co-founder is called Mona Lisa, and she has been with me since the start. So the two of us, I think what really helps us is that we divide the work. So she kind of heads the members and the research and all of the research that goes into the pro bono consulting bit, while I focus more on developing the business. How do we get funds? How do we make it sustainable in the long run? Redesigning the website, technology, and all of that. So having a clear demarcation of work responsibilities has helped us. The challenges have been many. When we started off, we did not have funding. So to keep members and law students motivated to keep giving answers on the forum was itself a big challenge, because we were promising people answers within 5 days, 5 working days from the date they posted the question. So it was not always easy to find someone to give a good quality researched answer within those 5 working days. So we had to develop mechanisms by which to incentivize people to come and participate more on the website, to participate more overall in connecting people with good lawyers, etc. So all of these were challenges. What helped us is having a strong co-founding team, having a strong network of law students who were very enthusiastic actually to help people, because this had not been done before. On such a scale where students can come together and help the common person. So it helped that we were unique in our approach, and we could really encourage more people to come and help us out. I think we were very fortunate to get guided by amazing people. I myself went to this social entrepreneurship school organized by Dell in the United States. And I met a lot of inspiring people who helped me to understand how to work around the challenges better. One of our challenges was to understand technology, because we both come from law backgrounds, and we run a website, and we run a lot of our pro bono consulting through that website. To understand how to maintain the backend itself was such a challenge. But we were fortunate to get friends who came and taught us how to use technology. I took a course in web development. So all of these things are things that we picked up along the way. We understood the importance of money, and that's how we got into fundraising and getting into paid services, etc. Yeah. So that's how the journey has been actually.
Actually, you got a lot of things to help yourself, but you found it, right?
Yes.
Well, talking about impact, because it's the most important thing for social business. How do you formulate what's the most important impact you make, and who are those people who are better off most of all from your activities?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. The most important inputs.
That's right.
Inputs into the business.
Impacts, I mean social impacts that you make.
Social impact, right. So how we measure our social impact is by, first of all, because we have a website where people come and post questions. So we feel happy when more and more people are coming and asking us questions. We've been dealing with a lot of India has these social evils such as dowry and things like that. So for example, two people of different castes are not allowed to get married, and very recently we got a case from this young boy who had to run away with his girlfriend because their parents were not accepting their marriage. They were from different castes, and he got arrested, and then the parents forced the girl to give evidence against him. So he's now facing criminal charges of abduction, etc. So now we are trying to help him out with a very good lawyer, and we're working with him on the various issues. So I think the social impact for us is when, even if we help one person out of a major problem like this, it's something that really helps us to feel motivated and keep going along this path. When we see a lot of people coming on the website, engaging with us, calling us on the hotline number. Right now, we are partnering with I Paid a Bribe, and a lot of people are coming and asking questions over there. So these are things that help us understand the reach that we are managing to do. So.
Okay, see, so it is human stories, people's stories about an improvement and help in hard legal situations that makes you feel successful as a company, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, let's talk about yourself. What do you think is your personal achievement in this story? How do you measure your personal success?
My personal achievement would be, I was a lawyer. I was a law student when this started, and I was working towards working in a corporate law firm and minting money. It was a very straightforward story, but somewhere along the way, I wanted to do something of this sort to help people. And eventually I joined the company. I was working there for 1.5 years, but I left that job, and I'm now doing this full time. So my personal story has been one of growth, of realizing what I want to do and how I want to help more people. And it's not necessary to work in a corporate law firm for me anymore. For me, it's also about understanding how social entrepreneurship, social businesses work. A lot of people ask me, how do you earn money and how are you sustaining yourselves? So, and to answer them in a way that they can understand, and to still continue doing this, is something that I think I've learned over the couple of years that we've been working on this. To understand technology, the power of technology, and how to harness it in a social business. Things I didn't know at all. These are my personal successes.
Sounds pretty great, actually. Pretty impressive story. Um, how do you think, take into account that now it's important for you to develop as a social entrepreneur? How do you think, what is the essential thing for being a
Right.
social entrepreneur?
The first important thing is to understand the problem that you're trying to solve. If there is a problem at all, um, then to identify, to design the way you are going to solve it. Of course, it's not a static design. You might think of doing something today, and 6 months later, you might find out that it's not actually working the way you thought it would. And to be able to identify that, and to change the way you're working without feeling like a failure, to kind of readjust at every step, and to constantly be in touch with what is the problem I'm trying to solve, and is this way actually solving it. I think being a social entrepreneur is all about experimenting with various things, finding out the best fit, and working around that. To keep yourself motivated is tough, but again, understanding whether you're actually solving the problem or any closer to solving the problem, Measuring social impact, like you said, how do you do it? I do it by seeing that, there were 20 people on my website last month. Today I have 50. So that's a positive change. So to be able to understand that things are working, and if things are not working, what do I need to change? And to constantly reevaluate that at every step is, I think, the most important thing that a social entrepreneur needs to know.
Okay. Um, if you compare your life that was 2-3 years ago when you worked in a company and now as a social entrepreneur, what are the key changes?
When I was working in a company, I was moonlighting. So I was perennially stressed because I was working in a day job, and in the nights I would be working on this. So it was tough. I didn't have any weekends, but I knew that I had to go along that path for a while before I could take the leap. Now it's a little less stressful at that front, but of course the stress is increased in other ways, because now people are asking me, how do you earn money? And that's something that I have to figure out all the time. But other than that, I feel that the the progress of the business has been faster after I took this on full time. That's something I feel.
So, what do you sacrifice for being a social entrepreneur?
That's a tough question. I think I'm definitely sacrificing on a very lavish lifestyle. Having amazing, having a lot of money and doing all that I could do with it. Not that I really care a lot about it. I'm just saying that that's a trade-off that I've made, and I'm not at all very unhappy about it. Other than that, I don't think I'm really sacrificing on anything. I think it's a blessing to be doing the kind of things that I am able to do.
Sounds very optimistic. Let's go. Could you tell us, please, how your typical day look like?
My typical day would involve getting up when I go to start work, to kind of figure out what all activities I have to do for the day, making a task sheet, allocating work. A lot of it is about effectively distributing the work among the people that are working with us. And then whatever work I have to personally do, for example, if I have a client that's actually paying us, then I would want to finish that off first, because that's the source of my funding for my pro bono consulting. So I would get that off the list. After that, I would see the website. I would check what all queries have come. If there are people who are asking for advice, how best to address that, connecting them with people. My co-founder also takes care of a lot of research work, so coordinating with her. Usually, there would be some kind of bugs on the website or redesign work that's always going on. So I'm usually taking care of that. Connecting with potential partners and stakeholders also forms a part of my daily work, because I think a lot of it, when you have to progress, you have to build partnerships. So we do try to reach out on a daily basis, and then at the end of the day, kind of seeing where we stand for that day and closing and planning for the next day.
A lot of different activities, isn't it? That's right. Um, what is that thing that you love most of all in your business?
I think the thing I love the most is the human connect. Sometimes when you're working at a big company, you tend to lose, connect with the people you're serving. But when you're working in a smaller outfit, when you're working in a social entrepreneurship model, I think we have a very close interaction with the people that we're serving. We try to understand what they need from us, and there's an emotional connect. I think that's something I really love. The fact that I can hear their stories and I can hear the real stories that are affecting people and get to solve them, the problems that they have. I think that's something I enjoy.
Sreerupa, could you tell me please about your most epic failure as a social entrepreneur? That's my favorite
Hmm.
question.
My most epic failure. I think somewhere we wanted to really scale very fast. I wanted to make this the most talked about thing in the field of law. Everyone would know about us. Within 1 year we would be on everyone's lips. Everyone would know what we are doing. I wanted to create a huge database of lawyers that would be publicly visible. We are still working on that, but I think the most epic failure is achieving all of these amazing milestones within a very short frame of time, which is the dream that I think all of us start out with, that we're going to change the world in 6 months. Which, when you start out to do, you realize it's not so easy. You kind of become more patient and you work on a more realistic basis. My most epic failure was when I thought I failed, and this is not going as huge as I thought it would. But now I've come to terms with the fact that we are going to grow at a certain pace, and that it's realistic. This is real.
That sounds so familiar to me. One thing, everything fast, 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 and then frustrating that things takes time. But well, yeah, things takes time. We
Yeah.
have we have to face it. Yeah. Can you remember maybe a moment when you thought, well, I'd better quit. We have to
Pardon?
stop it. Can you remember a moment that you thought, well, that's enough for me. I quit. I have to stop it. I leave.
Of course. Of course, I wanted to quit. I think twice in the last 1 year. I came very close to hanging my boots and saying that I've had enough. I can't take this anymore. There's too much pressure. But again, those moments have not lasted very long, thankfully. I've also been very, very fortunate to have a co-founder who's very, very self-motivated as well. And somehow, I think, thankfully, both of us didn't want to quit at the same time. So we could motivate each other to stick on. And when things started moving around again, we said, okay, so see, told you. So that really helped. And yes, I think every entrepreneur must have had those moments when they wanted to just hang their boots and go hiking or something. So yes, those moments have come. Yes, they have.
As I can see, you have a great co-founder, and you two are
Yes,
great.
yes,
Yeah. Next
yes, and
time,
a great,
yeah, go on. Go on.
yeah, a great team, a great co-founder, some very inspiring friends. Yeah, I've been lucky.
I think next time we'll have to make an interview with both of you.
Of course.
Yeah, sure. So, what do you do apart from your enterprise? Do you have any other passions?
Um, I love to read. I love traveling. I'm a trained dancer in Indian classical dance as well as some Western forms as well. So I unwind by dancing. Um, I have recently started to like cooking. Um,
You have time for it.
huh?
Do you have time
Yes, of
for it?
course.
Oh,
Of course.
you're like entrepreneur. You have time for cooking for eating.
Yeah, of course. Anytime you're in India, I would love to cook for you. And yeah, I love to read and to travel. That's yeah.
Can you imagine your life without this enterprise? What would you do then?
I would probably be working in a corporate uh, office or a firm. That was the original plan. Now I'm thinking of other new things to start. scaling this, other ideas. I think part of the journey is to constantly innovate and constantly come up with new ideas. So if not this, I would be doing something else, some other enterprise. I have lots of ideas. Feel free to contact me to collaborate. And yeah.
Sure. Are there any plans of living? So, do you have certain goals after achieving which you'll say, okay, that's enough, and I go next to the next project?
I think the way I see this enterprise is to make it self-sustaining without me. I think that's something that all entrepreneurs want to achieve with their projects. That eventually the project will become an entity capable of taking care of itself, and it will not need me. It will just be something that people can take up for some time, do on their own. If they're busy, then they can take off again and come back again. But there'll always be people working in it, and it will be something that will self-sustain. So I think when I achieve that level of self-sustenance, I can calmly move to something else and say, okay, this is taken care of.
Okay, good goal. Very good goal. What is your big, hairy, audacious goal as a company? Let's be hard.
Yeah. Um,
What is it?
so right now we are the biggest pro bono consulting driven by university students in India. That's what we've achieved in 2 years. That we're the biggest in terms of university driven consulting in India. I think what we want to achieve is to become the biggest pro bono consulting irrespective of university driven or not in India. I think that's what we're trying to achieve. When we achieve that as a legal consulting, which is the biggest in India, I think we'll have achieved the big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yeah, taking into account the size of the market, it's a really big and hairy.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, wish good luck with that big goal. And
Thank you.
now, if you don't mind, several weird questions, just to keep
Sure.
having fun. In ancient times, would you have been a philosopher or a warrior?
I didn't get that.
In ancient times, would
Yeah.
you prefer to be a philosopher or a warrior?
A warrior. In
Yeah.
fact, I'll let you in on a little secret. So in India, we can trace our lineage on the basis of the caste system. So it's basically there are the priests. So there are the descendants from the priests who are called the Brahmins, and there are the descendants from the warriors who are called the Kshatriyas. I am a descendant of the warriors.
So there is no speculation here. You just didn't have any choice there. I didn't thought
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. Okay. I'm afraid now about the next question, but we'll see. If you were an animal, what would it be?
Yeah. An animal.
No preconditions here.
I think no. No, I think I would be a dog. I think they're very loving and affectionate and loyal. I think I associate myself with those terms.
And I think it's one of the most social enterprise and entrepreneur looking
Yes, of
animal.
course,
Yeah,
of course. They're
the
very
first
active.
friend of people. Yeah, big or heavy?
Big or happy?
Heavy.
Heavy. Big.
Wind or sun?
Sun.
Fast or long?
Fast.
Okay. Would you take a free and comfortable trip to the other side of space with a guaranteed comeback? But if you know that it will take you 60 years, 60 years,
6.
60.
No way. I've got a lot going on for me on this planet.
That's sure. That's for sure. Well, to conclude with, what would you wish to young social entrepreneurs who are just starting their businesses and their initiatives? What would you wish them?
I would tell them to be very patient, um, to be prepared for a lot of hard work, a lot of tough questions about what they do, why they do, um, and for them to be uh, able to adapt to very uncomfortable, sticky situations. When they think that things are not going that great, to be able to motivate themselves requires a lot of self belief, a lot of inspiration, and the ability to be patient. I think these are very, very important.
That's right. Absolutely right. Sreerupa, thank you so much for joining me today in this first broadcasting. I
Thank you.
was very glad to hear these stories, and hopefully we'll do it. Well, maybe in a year, maybe in half a year, and see the progress. I wish you all the luck and success with this project and other initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for interviewing me as part of your very first broadcast. I'm very honored and humbled at the same time. And it's been a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was Good
Thanks.
Business Journal with Sreerupa Chowdhury from India. And also have to mention that it was part of Yunus and Youth Ambassadorship Program challenge that I recently involved in. Well, hopefully we'll come back soon. Good luck to all. Bye bye.